Please let me know if we are live so I can get started.
We are in live.
Okay. So, good afternoon. I don't know how many of us, how many of the students are attending. I'll wait for more students to join. So we are almost done with about 10-11 weeks by now of this course. So by now there must be some consolidation of the number of students who are participating. Those who are, those who have stuck with us with the course this long, I hope all of you have already registered for the exam. So I thought I'll spend some time discussing about the exam. I know because this is an NPTEL course, many of you might be good audio. So because this is an NPTEL course, many of you might be expecting MCQ based questions. Just wanted to speak a little bit about the exam pattern. I did not particularly prepare a PPT for this session. I have a PPT of all the previous classes. So if there are any questions, what I'll do is I will take that PPT and maybe explain if, when requested. So we'll get started with the comments about the exam. Note that unlike other courses, this course will have not a computerized exam, but rather an offline exam that will have some descriptive questions. I have opened the YouTube so that if there are any questions in the comment box, in the chat box, I can see there is no one. Vivek Acharya is here. Thank you, Vivek. There's at least somebody who is joining. 8 people are watching now. That is good. At least Vivek is here. I'm muting so that I can. Yeah, what you see in the background is our lab. See that. So Vivek, did you have any specific question? Hello, Praneeth. Who is this Praneeth? Praneeth, are you from NPTEL or are you a student? Praneeth has escaped as soon as I ask question. That is okay. Putting my phone on silent. Okay. Hi, Man Kumar. Thanks for joining. More students now. We have about 13 students watching. So Shaurav Lay, hi Shaurav. Thanks for joining. I hope you've all done your assignments well, because 25% of the grade will come from the 8 best assignments. Whatever is the NPTEL grading formula, please check that. I may be a little bit off this way, that way. Please remember that 25% of your grade comes from the assignments. I hope you are all consistently doing well in your assignments. If there is still some assignments that you have not submitted and there is still deadline and timeline for you to submit, please do well in those. Make sure that you have 8 well submitted assignments so that this is somewhere where you can maximize your points. Okay, coming back, I'll speak about the exam. The students who are already here, if you have any questions, I request you to please type in the chat box. I will try to respond. Okay. So the story is, this will be a descriptive exam. Okay. What do I mean by that? So unlike the computerized objective test that you are used to taking in NPTEL, essentially there will be one question that will be displayed and you click a button which is a correct answer or wrong answer, whatever you click one, you choose one of the, maybe it's a multiple select question, multiple choice question. You try to select an answer and you proceed, right? Here you will get a question paper maybe on a computer, but or maybe it will be a hard copy question paper. The answers you will have to write in a sheet of paper and submit. All your answer scripts will then be scanned and sent to me by a soft copy, which I will then grade. Now, so that means that it will not be, you just click a whole bunch of clicks that you do for the 50 questions or 100 questions and then you are done. It's not like that. Because I know that there are simple ways of cracking multiple choice questions. By the way, that doesn't mean that there will be no multiple choice questions in our exam. There will be. Just that you will have to write all the answers in a yes, Mankumar, this is our lab. This is our lab. I'm trying to see what's right behind me. So what's right behind me there is I think is Anurag's computer. That's your computer, I guess. Yeah, I think Anurag is working with some virtual reality based rehab project that he is working on. I think Anurag is also supporting you through his PMR of teaching assistant work. Yes. So let's come back to the exam part. There will be, the exam will be for 100 marks, which will then be scaled down to 75 because 25 is from the assignments. The exam will be for 100 marks. Okay. And that 100 will then be scaled down to 75. Okay. Of this 100 marks in the exam, 50 marks will be for descriptive essay type long answer questions. I hope your teaching assistant, your friends are actually coaching you through this. This is critical. This is the crucial difference. 50 marks will be reserved out of 100, 50 out of 100. That means that about 38% of the final grade, 37.5% of the final grade is reserved for long answer or essay type questions. The other 50 marks will have multiple choice and multiple select questions. These multiple choice, multiple select questions will be approximately of the same level of difficulty as in the assignments. Please remember this. That doesn't mean that there will be straight questions from the assignments. What it means is that there will be questions of approximately similar difficulty. That's what it means. The other way of saying that is that if you have attempted to solve and if you have successfully solved the assignments independently, then you will be in a position to answer most of the questions in the objective type. Most, not all, maybe not all. Some of them may be difficult, but most of the questions will follow your rules, will follow these rules. Okay, so that means that there are two things, that if you have so far not done the assignments well, you have an opportunity to take a look at the assignment level of difficulty and prepare yourself for the exam. The main reason why I am appearing here live is to coach you through the exam. As many of you have registered for the exam. Those who have registered, it's not just about paying the registration fees. It is not about just paying an exam fees to NPTEL, 1,000 rupees or 1,100 rupees, and just clicking a whole bunch of answers. This will be different. Last time we got about 100 or 200 questions, 200 answer scripts, which we graded. You might be surprised. Grading 200 answer scripts is a lot of work because descriptive questions. There are about 5 or 6 big questions. So this is 50 marks of essay questions, right? So these will cover the entire breadth of the. So now let's speak about the essay question. So let's speak about the. First, we finished speaking about the multiple choice questions. The multiple choice questions will be approximately of the same level of difficulty as the assignments, approximately. Okay. Now regarding the essay type questions, first we speak about coverage. Practically the entire syllabus, 12-week syllabus will be covered. So there will be no part of the syllabus that will be left untouched or something. Practically the entire syllabus will be covered. So that means that you cannot choose. You cannot choose which part of the syllabus to study and which part to leave. You will have to study the entire syllabus. Also, the depth at which the questions will appear will be approximately the level of the class level. So in other words, if the class is, by the way, I do not remember specific questions because it has been a long time since I set the questions. And I'm also teaching other courses. Because of this reason, I do not remember specific questions. But I can give some examples. One example that I can give. Please do not quote me saying that you said this will come in the exam and it did not come. I don't know if this is on the exam. I also don't know if this is not on the exam. Okay. I'm giving an example of the level of difficulty at which the exam essay type question might appear. Okay. This is an example. You cannot say, sir already gave the question and it came in the exam. I don't know whether it is on the exam. I'm upfront recording this. I do not know whether this question is there in the exam. I also do not know whether it is not there in the exam. The question will be something like, describe the mechanism of force development in a sarcomere, or describe the mechanism of excitation contraction coupling. Starting from how elaborately describe the details of how a neural pulse appearing at the neuromuscular junction leads to development of force in the muscle fibers. Question like this. How will you frame an answer for this question? This is, once again, remember, I am not saying this is on the exam. I don't know. That is not the point. The point here is, suppose this is on the exam, how will you, attempt to answer this? Now, and as an answer, I will expect you start with your description of the sarcolemma. That you start with your description that there are ligand-gated sodium channels on the muscle plasma membrane, muscle fiber plasma membrane, muscle cell plasma membrane. There are these ligand-gated sodium channels which will open whenever the acetylcholine binds to that channel. And when acetylcholine binds to that channel, they open, and whenever they open, the sodium that they let in will lead to opening of voltage-gated sodium channels in the muscle cell membrane. Okay. Now, from there are the T tubules. You'll have to describe the sarcoplasmic reticulum. You'll have to describe the relationship, the nature of DHP receptors, ryanodate receptors, how as depolarization spreads through the T tubule, DHP receptors and ryanodate receptors are opened, and the calcium, excess calcium stored in the sarcoplasmic reticulum, or a very high amount of calcium stored in the sarcoplasmic reticulum is released, leading to calcium spark. Then I will also expect you to describe how in the presence of calcium, troponin moves tropomyosin, exposing the actin binding sites. I'll also expect you to describe the nature of thick and thin filaments, that is myosin and actin filaments, and the myosin head, actin binding site, the nature of myosin head to bind to a specific spot on the actin strand, and then once they attach in the presence of ATP, it will pull, leading to what is called as power stroke. And what is preventing this from happening all the time is the tropomyosin that is covering. So in the presence of calcium, troponin will move tropomyosin, exposing the actin binding sites. This will lead to a situation in the presence of ATP. The myosin head will attach to the actin binding site and then pull on the actin binding sites, thus reducing the distance between the Z discs, leading to what is perceived as a contraction. This is the excitation contraction coupling. This is the mechanism of force development in a sarcomere. This entire story with two beautiful and neat diagrams, figures. One of the excitation contraction coupling of how when the depolarization arriving in T tubule, sarcoplasmic reticulum, ryanodine receptor, DHP receptors, and all that. Another one showing the cycle of the thin filament and thick filament. Another one that's a third figure showing the cycle of the sliding filament theory. That there is power stroke, there is rigor. After rigor, there is a low energy state. Then there is a removal of disconnection of actin and myosin. Then there is cocking of actin and myosin in the presence of ATP. Then ATP is split into ADP plus P, and so on and so forth. This entire story, starting from neuromuscular junction till sliding filament theory, is the answer that I expect. I know that this is a very elaborate answer, 3 figures, a lot of points to be remembered, and this. But please note, the videos teach you everything. I have equipped you by providing you with all the details. There is nothing that you do not know. I have coached you, I have worked with you. The video provides all the details, and I will not expect you to write something that is not there in the video. As if you write whatever is there in the video, whatever is there in the transcript of the video, that is enough. I'm not expecting you to, to write something that is, beyond the level of the video, that is a very deep physiology that I have not taught. By the way, what I have taught is already very deep physiology. As long as you are able to reproduce what is there in the transcript of the videos, I'm very happy, and I will give you full marks. But then that itself is a lot of work. If you can do that, that is a phenomenal achievement, in my opinion. You definitely deserve a very good grade for this. This is an example of a long question or an essay type question, for which you can answer by drawing 3 neat diagrams and providing a very neat description of the situation starting from this. So I expect elaborate answers, but please make sure that all the answers are relevant. Don't write all the things that you know in neuromechanics as answer to a particular question. If it is about excitation contraction coupling, please keep elaborate description of that question alone, please. Okay, this is an example of excitation contraction coupling. So remember what I said. The entire topic should be, the question will state, the question will be very detailed. The question will say, starting from this, describe this, describe this, describe this, like that. So you cannot say, I thought excitation contraction coupling is only till T tubule and sarcoplasmic reticulum. No. The question will state, the question will very clearly say that also describe the mechanism of force development in a sarcomere. Also describe sliding filament theory, like that. So you cannot escape that. The question will be very detailed. I will expect you to provide an elaborate but relevant answer. So last time, there were a few students who did well. What I found was that those who did well had provided very relevant, specific, and elaborate answers. These are the successful students who went on to win, that gold medal or whatever. On the other hand, sadly, some of the students had also given a whole bunch of irrelevant answers. See, when the question is about, for example, when the question is about excitation contraction coupling, I am expecting you to answer about excitation contraction coupling. Let us say you prepared the neuromuscular junction. Okay. Let us say you studied how neuromuscular junction works, but you did not study how excitation contraction coupling works. For example, you prepared some topic and that topic did not come. A related or slightly related topic, a very slightly related topic comes in the exam, is asked in the question. What do? You just skip the question, or you write whatever little you know. But what I see some students doing is that they write the entire story of neuromuscular junction. Unfortunately, although what you are writing might be correct and is relevant to the course, what you are writing might be facts, might be truths. Okay, there might be facts, there might be truths, and they are relevant to the course. It is not some other course topic you are writing. It is still in neuromechanics only. I respect that and I value that. I like the fact that you have actually put in the effort to learn the other topic. However, unfortunately, this is not the answer to the question. Excuse me. Unfortunately, if you write neuromuscular junction, the details in 2 or 3 pages, how neuromuscular junction works, how is depolarization spreading, what is how is acetylcholine packed inside vesicles, how is it released, the process of exocytosis, synaptotagmin, syntaxin, synaptobrevin, and the diseases of neuromuscular junction, myasthenia gravis, Lambert-Eaton myasthenic syndrome, all those details you provide, they are not irrelevant to neuromechanics, but, or as the think school guy says, but they are not relevant to the course. They are not, they are relevant to the course, but they are not relevant to the question. And because they are not relevant to the question, only the neuromuscular junction part of the excitation contraction coupling. That is, I'm asking the question about what is happening on the muscle side, right? And when the question is about excitation contraction coupling and sarcomere, the question is about what is happening on the muscle side, not what is happening on the neuron side. Let's say you prepare the neuron side and you write the entire detail of neurons. Only when you are discussing acetylcholine and ligand-gated channels, that is the only relevant part. That is less than 10% of the total content or something. So at max, out of 10 marks for that question, I might end up giving 1 or 2 marks as grace marks, because you actually attempted something that is relevant to the course, and that is some of it is relevant to the question, not entirely relevant. What he is telling you, say Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria. What is this? India. I think some spam. All right. So as long as you write relevant, specific questions. And by the way, when I say I expect you to write elaborate answers, it is not that I'm expecting you to write a big stories. The questions will be big questions. If you can keep it to the point, You can still write, relatively brief answers and still get full marks, as long as you write all the relevant points. As long as you give all the relevant points, you can provide a brief answer and still get full points. So the correct way of answering the essay questions is to answer in a very focused manner. Give relevant, focused, very specific answers. Keep it as elaborate as the course video was, but not more elaborate. I don't want you to write stories. Whatever was taught in the course video, at that level of elaboration is more than sufficient. That if you can do, that is fantastic. Who is this? Anubhav Dattagupta. I am not a student of this subject, still curious about neuromechanics. Could you give a gist about it? Anubhav, here's the thing. Anubhav, have you registered for this course? Because if you're registered for the course, it's not just a gist. 12 weeks of content, more than 30 hours of video. I am already about 20-28 minutes into the live session, and you're asking me to give a gist. That is going to be somewhat challenging. Anubhav, essentially, what is it? I will give a gist, but can I keep it to the end after 5-10 minutes? Because I will finish speaking about the exam. Because although there are not many students who are watching, there are about 16 students who are watching, but I'm hoping that many students will be watching the recording in 2x or 4x or whatever. Maximum you can only speed at a 2x. That is the reason I'm speaking slowly. I'm speaking slowly so that students can watch at a faster speed and still be in a position to understand. Okay, because students, they may not be some guys are just spamming. Okay, so students may be busy at this time because festival and all. Also, maybe they are having other exams. Maybe they are otherwise engaged with other things. Maybe they have just gone to a movie. Maybe they are watching some other video. They're busy with many different things. Students are very busy. I respect the fact that students are spending the time to take this course. I mean, so it is not about whether students are with me right now or not. I mean, it will be great. Of course, I love the fact that I am able to meet with many of you at this time. Not Astro Rishabh. I'm not telling you, Rishabh. I'm not telling you. That is somebody else. Good luck, guys. He like that. Something he's posting. I'm telling about him. Okay, not about you. So students might be otherwise busy right now, but they might later they will get the recording of this video in YouTube, which those interested students will still watch. Again, let me remind you, the purpose of this video, the purpose of this live session is to coach the students who will be taking the exam. Okay. I'm hoping that usually about 100-200 students register for the exam. So out of these 200 art students who register for the exam, last time we did not have a very good pass percentage. What was the reason? See, my aim here, again, the purpose of this meeting is to make sure that we have a good pass percentage. I want all of you to do well. The only ethical way to do that is to coach you, is to work with you, is to give you an idea of how this is going to be. As I mentioned, once again, I'm telling, there is going to be 50 marks of essay type question and 50 marks of objective type. Usually in the 50 marks of objective type, students do okay, they're not too bad. But in the 50 marks of essay type question, most of the students are writing a lot of non-relevant or irrelevant stuff, or they are writing something relevant to neuromechanics but not relevant to the question that is asked. In such cases, unfortunately, I cannot give points. I was giving an example of what if the question was about excitation contraction coupling and mechanism of force development in a sarcomere and a sliding filament theory, and if the answer is about neuromuscular junction, at max I can give 2 out of 10 points. You might say, come on, I'm writing all the details about neuromuscular junction, you're only giving 2 points. The answer is yes, I'm only giving 2 points because you have not answered the question. The question is about excitation contraction coupling. I'm expecting you to write at the level of depth where you are speaking about a calcic question, where you are speaking about how calcic question can store anywhere between 18 and 50 calcium ions. That is a specialty of calcic question, which is storing 50 calcium ions in the sarcoplasmic reticulum of the muscle fiber, muscle cell. This is the level of detail, this is the level of elaboration that I'm expecting. Whereas what you're writing is that, choline acetyl transferase is what packs, acetylcholine into, it takes acetyl coenzyme A and choline and packs them into vesicles. While that is correct, well, this is indeed a correct, this, and also acetylcholine esterase is what breaks acetylcholine into acetate plus choline. Again, this is correct. Well, these two are indeed correct, but they are not relevant to the question. Because of this reason, I can only give a maximum of 1 or 2 points, not more. So please make sure that in your preparation, you go the breadth. Please don't expect choice, that if I study, this is gambling. If I study neuromuscular junction, I can skip excitation contraction coupling. If I study excitation contraction coupling, I can study neuromuscular junction. I will only I don't remember the exact questions in the exam. I could only ask only one of them and not the other. And what if the one that is asked is the one that you did not prepare? So these are all the dangers, hidden dangers. So I request you to prepare all these topics. There are only about 15-20 questions that can be asked. Not true, is it? See, you can divide. Okay, you can divide the topic into. Again, please, I request you to not quote me later to me or to NPTEL saying that you said this will be on the exam and you did not come. Again, I am disclaimer, I don't know what's on the exam. But what I do know is that it makes sense for some questions to come from the early part of the syllabus, like neuromuscular junction, excitation contraction coupling, muscle contractions, types of muscle function, and so on and so forth. So skeletal muscle function, that's one part. Then some questions to come from reflexes, monosynaptic reflexes, polysynaptic reflexes, oligosynaptic reflexes, pre-programmed reactions. That will be one question. Maybe I'm just saying, maybe. The other one might be, it is reasonable for you to expect that one question, definitely one big question from the topic of primary motor cortex, and one question from the topic of cerebellum, one question from the topic of basal ganglia. That makes sense, right? So, if you are going to study for choice, don't study for choice within each of these topics. That would be very lame. In other words, if you are studying the early part, right, study the entire early part. That means you start with neuroscience, you start with the early part, membrane physiology, start with neuromuscular junction, start with excitation, contraction, coupling, muscles, and all those things. If you study this entire topic, then it is extremely likely that you will catch one big question. if you skip, right, say excitation contraction coupling and study neuromuscular junction and come to the exam, and the question and the exam has excitation contraction coupling but not neuromuscular junction, you are finished. That's never good. So choose topics like this. So there are two pre-brain topics. One is the early part. Again, that could be that'll be amount of details in terms of describe this disorder, that disorder, what is Lambert-Eaton myasthenic syndrome, what is myasthenia gravis, what is that, GBS, Guillain-Barré syndrome, what is multiple sclerosis, what is the difference between GBS and multiple sclerosis, what is the difference between myasthenia gravis and this, what is the difference between this snake venom or whatever, all those questions are there. Neuromuscular junction disorders that could be asked, could be. So you will have to focus on that entire if you're choosing, choose that entire pre-reflex or the early foundation, such as neuromuscular junction, excitation contraction coupling, disorders of the neuromuscular junction, disorders of myelination, various special cases, Botox, all the details, Botox, hemicoline, Vesamicol, all the details. Don't leave any one detail to chance. All the details in that one part until the beginning of reflexes. So from the beginning of the syllabus to the beginning of reflexes is one part. You prepare this entire part in detail. There is a very good likelihood that you will catch one essay question. Please, don't prepare all the topics half, because you will definitely get caught if you do that. The second topic is, again, full disclosure, full disclaimer, I still don't know whether this is true. I'm expecting this to be true. If someone is setting a question, it is reasonable that this is how they will set. Okay. Don't say, hey, you are the guy who set the question. I set the question long time ago. I don't remember what's on the exam, please. Something is typing. Is it possible to report him? I just reported this Dinesh Kumar. Just throw him out of the comment. Okay. Likewise, for what? Likewise, there will be one part before the reflex. Then the other, there will be one essay. It is likely that there will be one essay question in reflexes, monosynaptic reflexes, H reflex, M response, F wave, oligosynaptic reflexes, segmental, intersegmental reflexes, pre-programmed reactions, all these things. And again, when you're speaking about this, I'm speaking about the entire detail. You will have to speak about, the relationship between amplitude and amplitude of stimulation and amplitude of response in H wave versus M wave. You will have to speak about, the differences in timing between H wave and M wave and F wave and, pre-programmed reactions. You will have to speak about the pathways that are involved in H wave versus M wave versus F wave versus pre-programmed reactions. You will have to speak of all the details. So if you choose a topic, choose the entire topic and study the entire topic in detail. It is extremely likely that you will catch one big question. Okay, very likely. Then again, the huge topic of primary motor cortex. It is extremely unlikely that any question paper in neuromechanics, in neuroscience of human movement, comes without primary motor cortex, comes without one essay type question in primary motor cortex. But then there are 15 videos. There are 15 videos on this topic. So when you start with everything. You starting with starting with Wilder Penfield onwards. Before that, starting even before that, no, starting with all the stories of Penfield, starting with Hewlings Jackson, starting with Corbinian, Broadman, those classifications, starting with architectonic modeling, starting with stimulation, starting with recordings, and the recordings of Edwards, Epworth, the work of Georgopoulos, the work of all those people, Mark Schieber, Peter Strick, all those details, Graziano, all the details, starting from there, starting with the early work till the end. If you go the entire length, it is extremely likely that you will catch a big question. But that's like saying, sir, what is this? You are essentially asking me to study the entire thing. Yes, exactly that. You got that. I am asking you to study the entire topic. If you choose a topic, don't choose. I will study about Graziano, but I'll not study about Mark Schieber. Don't do that. It is extremely likely that you will get caught. You are not studying about Mark Schieber, right? That will be on the exam. You studied about Graziano, that will not be on the exam. So you will write the exam saying that, hey, here is the thing, you are asking some question, I will write what I know. If you write like that, then I will only give some relevant answer. Relevant marks. Whatever is relevant for that marks, I will give 1 mark or 2 marks. So, if you choose primary motor cortex, starting from the beginning till the end, study everything. Okay, all the topics, starting from Wilder Penfield onwards till the very end, till brain-computer interface. All the topics I want you to prepare well. All right. Again, basal ganglia. Right. Starting with structure, starting with pathways, starting with functions, starting with dysfunction, starting with hyperkinetic disorders, starting with hypokinetic disorders, starting with pathways of dopamine, starting with Parkinson's disease, starting with rate model. You have taken basal ganglia. All the disorders of basal ganglia, hemibalismus, Ballism, Huntington's chorea, Parkinson's disease, tics, Tourette syndrome, everything. Choose basal ganglia and study the entire basal ganglia. 15 videos. Study all of them. Likewise, if you choose cerebellum, choose entire cerebellum. Pathways, inputs, outputs, inner circuitry, pathways, inputs, outputs, and functions, deep nuclei, Purkinje cell, this connections between Purkinje cell, inputs to Purkinje cell, and inhibitory and excitatory connections within the cerebellum, excitatory loops and inhibitory loops within the cerebellum, functional this, and also the homunculus within the cerebellum, or organization within the cerebellum, functional organization within the cerebellum, and also the nature of the vestibular system, entire source. Don't leave any topic. And disorders of cerebellum, timing disorders, dysdiadochokinesia. Remember, no? You don't say, I do not remember what is this dysdiadochokinesia. I have taught this. Okay. Start now. Dysdiadochokinesia is in syllabus. Yeah. So you cannot say, I have never heard what you are speaking about. You have. If you have watched my videos, you have heard. I have taught you what is dysdiadochokinesia. I don't know if it is on the exam, but if you choose a topic, you study it. Why I am saying this is, let's say you are preparing for anatomy, structure of cerebellum inputs and outputs, but you do not know the function. You are preparing half cerebellum, half basal ganglia, half primary motor cortex, half reflex, and half neuromuscular junction type of this. And it is entirely possible that the half that you did not prepare is on the exam, or in all the topics. It could be, it is possible. It could be. You are preparing neuromuscular junction. What is on the exam is, excitation contraction complete. You are preparing H reflex. What's on the exam is M response. You are preparing, AD watts and, FETs. What's on the exam is Jaja Production, Graziano. Just saying. I don't know what's on the exam. Just saying. You're preparing, subthalamic nucleus. What's on the exam is substantia nigra pars compacta and dopamine circuit, indirect and direct pathways. You are preparing, inputs and inputs of the cerebellum. What's on the exam is, Masi fibers and, Purkinje fibers and the climbing fiber architecture and internal excitatory and inhibitory loops within the cerebellum. All the topics you could do, which is why I'm saying take cerebellum, prepare the entire topic. Take basically prepare the entire topic. So if you want to prepare only half, prepare 3 of the 5 topics. Take 3 topics and study them fully. Then there is a very good likelihood that you will catch at least 3 of the big questions. But that also means that you will not be in a position to answer 2 of the big questions. That's at least better than, gambling. Okay. In fact, I would love it if you prepare all the topics, but if you are constrained by time, if you are able to study only half the topic, then please divide this into 5 big topics like this. Approximately, by the way, these are not set in stone. Don't say that you said this in this live session. I have recording proof, and this is not an exam. None of what I say is going to be on the exam. There is no guarantee, absolutely no guarantee, no warranty, nothing. Okay, so you cannot quote me or cite me and then speak to NPTEL or me. I don't remember anything about the exam. I'm thinking it makes, I'm looking at it logically from a student of the discipline. If someone is setting a question, how would they set the question? Like that. I'm not speaking here as a teacher of the discipline. If someone is setting a question, these are the 5 major topics, how they have to set. And so 5 questions will come from these 5 topics. Approximately. It is entirely possible that there can be a question from premotor cortex. Okay, so don't quote me on that. Okay, just say. All right. So if you're taking these 5 topics, take these entire topics and prepare well. Okay. Now, let me answer this Astro Rishabh. Astro Rishabh, the course started sometime in July or August. Okay, it is being offered every July approximately. So if you did not take the course earlier, you cannot now register. It's too late, but you have the option to register for this in July 2023. Okay, hopefully at that time the course may be offered. At that time, I request you to please watch for this and take. Now it is too late to register for the course, but of course you are welcome to. Not July 25. This course started July 25. Yeah, maybe it started on that day. Now, you cannot register for the exam or register for the course. Of course, you are welcome to watch all the videos. They are all available on YouTube. If you want, you can email me and I can send you the entire playlist. Or you can also search on YouTube, Neuroscience of Human Movements, NPTEL. If you search, there will be an entire playlist that will come. You are welcome to watch the videos, take notes, start preparing. I think notes, transcripts, all those things are already available in NPTEL website. So you can start preparing from now. And when the semester starts, when the course is being offered for exam next year, by the time you will be well prepared, you can do the assignments and take the exam and then qualify. Okay. Now, Anubhav Dattagupta, sorry, I made you wait for a long time. I'm a student, want to join in IITM. We are all welcoming all of you. Okay. Now, I made this Anubhav Dattagupta wait for a long time. Poor guy. I told him, hey, can we do it later after 5-10 minutes? Because I was very eager to reach out to the students about the exams. For me, it is very important that my students do well in the exam. I care much about the students because students care about the exam. I also want my students to do well. Sangeeta, you won't write JEE exams, and how can you join? Then you can write GATE and join in PG program. Okay. Or else there is the new data science and programming course that is being offered. You can join as an online student. We all want to be available. It is not that IITM students only have access to IIT professors. Nothing like that today. In today's world, everybody is teaching everybody. We are all available to you. Okay. Remember this. You can take GATE and join our institute. Biomedical engineering group. I'm in biomedical engineering group. Many of my colleagues are also offering good courses. We have a biomedical engineering MTech program, MS program, PhD program. Okay, you can join. Or I'm also participating in the entrepreneurship program. If you want to come develop medical devices for us, do the techno commercialization of that, you are welcome to join. I am also part of that. I also take students through the interdisciplinary program. Neuron networking, I do not know what that is. So I do not know what is networking of neurons. All I know is real neurons. Okay, now we'll answer Anubhav Dattagupta. Poor guy, if he is still there, or else he can watch the video, or else he can ignore. Doesn't matter, because I promised to answer him. I'll answer him. We have exactly 2-3 minutes. So the story is, Anubhav, how do humans generate and control movements? Anything that you do, means talking, walking, moving the hand, fingers, all these are purposive movements. What is a purposive movement? Meaningful movement. Humans are good at performing things that have meaning, meaningful, purposive movements. How are these meaningful, purposive movements generated, controlled, and produced? What are the signatures of these movements that we can study, from which we can understand what is the decision-making process? How a slight variation in these could lead to disorders. These are the topics that we study in this course. This is the gist of this course. So it is 30 plus hours, 31 or 32 hours, or maybe 35 hours of video content. You are asking me to provide a gist in 2 minutes. This is what I have been able to provide. I request you to please consider, watching the videos or taking the course next semester. I'll be very happy to work with you and mentor you and coach you. Okay. Good. So we'll stop here unless there are some specific questions. I'll wait for a few more minutes for a few more questions because we are almost out of time. I'll wait for a few more minutes for other questions. And if there are other questions, I'll take questions. Otherwise, we'll wind up. Please remember what I said. Divide the entire topic into entire syllabus into major topics such as pre-reflex content, pre-reflex content, and reflexes, and primary motor cortex, and basal ganglia, and cerebellum. Okay, these 5 topics. If you choose any of these 5 topics, spend spend time to prepare the entire topic. Any topic you choose, prepare the entire topic. That will help you answer the essay type questions. All right. Also, then what else? What else? Also, there are, choose the best answer or multiple choice and multiple select questions. which will be of approximately same difficulty level, approximately same difficulty level as the assignments. I said approximately the same difficulty level. I did not say the same question. Okay, difficulty level might be the same. Okay, dokie. So with this, we come to the end of this live session. I'll look how to look for show chat. Okay. One last time I'll look for any new questions. There is a whole bunch of spam which are there. I am not able to somebody is asking, Preeta Varshini is asking, future artificial intelligence gets scope or not? Tell me the truth. God knows the truth, Preeta. I don't know what the truth is. And I don't know anything about, I only know about the real intelligence, natural intelligence. I don't know anything about artificial intelligence. You should ask the experts in artificial intelligence. Okay, relax. And I like the way Astro Rishabh is. Is this course has any practical use or not? Is this course used in the development? I don't know, Preeta. I cannot comment on that without knowing. That is this course help in the development of biomedical devices? That's what I mentioned. We are working on a whole bunch of biomedical, and rehab, diagnostic, and therapeutic devices in our lab, which we are commercializing, as part through our interaction with the IIT Madras Research Park and IIT Madras Incubation Cell, innovation ecosystem. There is a huge potential, not a small amount. It's not a small potential. It's a huge potential for this kind of devices in this field. It's a field that has very bright future. Okay, in medical device development, that's what we are working on. That's where we are slowly moving towards. Okay, so we'll stop here. I had a very nice time interacting with you. I hope this video was of some use for you in terms of preparing for the exam. Again, my main goal with this meeting, with this video, with this live session was to provide some form of coaching to the students who are preparing for the exam. Please remember that it's a descriptive there is a descriptive exam, and there is a descriptive part of the exam, which will have big essay type questions, and then there will also be a MCQ or MSQ type questions. Okay, remember that to prepare well, and if you choose a topic, prepare the entire topic. All the best. My best wishes. Do well in the exam. I would love to see you all succeed and do exceedingly well, and I hope to interact with you in future. What type of license IIT Madras has for use of IITM devices? These guys, if this is how the language that is spoken by this San, Dinesh, if this is what they are speaking, I think there is no point. I mean, the NPTEL people will have to ban chat. I will only speak about going forward. I will not come live. And if I come live, I will only speak about the topics that I come, and I will completely, disable chat. Remember that. Okay, very abusive language. This I will report this guy. Hate speech. Also the same for this San also. Speaking some abusive language, hate speech. Report. NPTEL people, please take a note. Let us not engage going forward. I think I request NPTEL people. There's an option to block. Oh. Yeah, I blocked this Dinesh Kumar and this useless people. See, this kind of language, this is not welcome. NPTEL people, please consider, not having chat at all. It's not useful. Students are, abusing this system. They don't deserve this. If they are not mature enough to conduct themselves properly, then there's no point. You see, we are also spending time despite our many commitments. To tell you the truth, my daughter is not well. Despite that, I made the commitment to come. At this time, I came. I took her. I ran around, took her to the pediatrician and all that. I've come here despite facing some serious personal challenges. and it's not worthy of my time to come and listen to this kind of language here. Anyhow, thank you very much for your attention for those who attempted to come, and I wish all the very best for the students who are taking the exam. My best wishes. Let's stay in touch. Once again, I want you all to do well. Please keep trying. Please prepare well. Please work hard. Okay. Thank you very much for your attention. How to stop? I have to. Atul, Vishal, can we wind up? I think I will leave the meeting so that it stops.